What's up, everybody? While Overwatch 2 is pretty much constantly on the minds of Overwatch players these days, recently there have been a couple of notable developments, I guess I should say, specifically when it comes to the release date of the upcoming Overwatch sequel. Now, a lot of people are calling these out and saying they're leaks, saying the official release date of Overwatch 2, and I'm just gonna say up front, no, we have nothing that specific about it, but we have gotten some new information which seems to give us a general sense, potentially, of when we are going to end up seeing Overwatch 2 release, and unfortunately, it's probably not going to be as soon as most of you expected. So in this video, I just wanted to quickly cover and give my thoughts on these new details, which include official statements from Jeff Kaplan himself, and just share my thoughts on what they might mean for Overwatch 2. This is Master EN Gamer. Real quick, I'd like to remind you to subscribe and hit up that bell icon if you enjoy this video so you never miss any of my future Overwatch content, but otherwise, let's jump right on in. So the first thing of note I'd like to talk about in this video was the recent Overwatch developer update, where Jeff Kaplan talked quite a bit about Kanezaka, sort of the development of this new deathmatch map, and basically gave his best wishes for everyone for the closure of 2020. He did mention that we'll be learning more about Overwatch 2 at the upcoming BlizzCon Online event, which of course is in the latter half of February, but he also made a rather specific statement towards the end of the video, which I think is very important to pay attention to.
Can't wait to talk to you more about Overwatch 2. Can't wait to show you more with Overwatch 2. We know it's been too long. We know we've been quiet. And we still have a ways to go just to manage expectations.
The fact that Jeff says we still have a ways to go for Overwatch 2 makes me think we're probably not going to see Overwatch 2 for probably close to another year from now. Originally, my expectation prior to this dev update was that we'd likely be seeing Overwatch 2 sometime around mid-2021, so either around the time of the anniversary event or probably a little bit after that, sometime in the summer perhaps. But based on what Jeff says here, it's very clear that he's trying to manage our expectations, specifically when it comes to lowering the hype level. You don't hear devs saying they've got a ways to go with a new game or product when they're trying to get people excited for the game. Jeff here is very specifically trying to lessen the amount of excitement we have, likely because he knows the game isn't going to be out as soon as we think it is, or hope it is at the very least. Now, that being said, again, we of course know we will be getting more information in February. It's hard to say what exactly we'll end up learning in February. I think Blizzard, at the very least, is going to have to give us a release window for the game. So saying like holiday 2021 or something like that. Because if we go through another BlizzCon event and we don't even get any information whatsoever regarding when we can even remotely expect this game to launch, that's going to be bad. They don't have to give us a specific date, and I don't expect that they will, but they need to give us some clear indication of when we can roughly expect it to release. And again, based on what Jeff said in the dev update, I think we're going to be looking at close to a year at a minimum from now before the game actually launches. Now, the other bit of evidence, which unfortunately supports this release date timeline, was the pre-order for the Art of Overwatch Volume 2, which recently went up on Amazon. As many of you are likely familiar, the original Art of Overwatch book covered concept artwork for different heroes, maps, and other things in the game, showed off a lot of the behind-the-scenes development of things like the animated shorts and the different character designs. It's a pretty cool book. I'm sure many of you have looked through it at least a little bit. But this is essentially the sequel and picking up where the original one left off by covering heroes from Doomfist to Echo, as we can see here from the cover, showing off specifically Tracer and all the new heroes which are released after the original book. Now, the important thing to take note of here is that the Amazon listing says the official release date is going to be October 15th, 2021. And that on its own is well and good, but if we look into the description of this listing, we can also see that it mentions the book will contain a sneak peek of Overwatch 2. Now, if this book won't be releasing until October 15th, 2021, and is supposed to contain a sneak peek of Overwatch 2, that seems to indicate that Overwatch 2 won't be out prior to October 15th, 2021. However, I do need to say that I don't think this is quite as concrete of a, quote, leak as a lot of people are sort of claiming it to be. Honestly, if anything, I think the use of the term sneak peek is more than likely intended to just generate hype for the book itself, because clearly the book overall is meant to include just content from the original Overwatch, as we can see from the characters shown on its cover, but they also want to get more hype by saying, oh, not only are we going to see Doomfist through Echo, but also sneak peeks of Overwatch 2. And it's probably just going to be like a couple little concept images, maybe even those same ones we already saw last year at BlizzCon. We don't really know, but more or less, I think this is just marketing speak right here. I don't think this is indicative of the book for sure releasing before Overwatch 2. Certainly it could be, and based on what Jeff Kaplan said, I think that actually is probably going to be the case. But the real thing I want to hit at here is that when we see leaks, and I should put leaks heavily in quotes here because this is what I consider a non-leak. It looks like a leak, it really isn't, because again, it looks like this will be suggesting that Overwatch won't release until after October 15th, but that's not necessarily the case based on just this one source. It's also possible that this little blurb here was just written from the relative perspective of being now. Overwatch 2 isn't out yet, so when they made this little blurb within the past, I don't know, months, weeks, however long it takes them to put these things together, then of course they would have classified any new information about Overwatch 2 as a sneak peek of it. If we look at the original Art of Overwatch book, which released way back in 2017, then we can see that they even advertised the fact that Overwatch is a global phenomenon with 30 million players. Well, nowadays, the game has well over 50 million players, and they haven't updated this whatsoever to reflect that, despite the fact that, well, they could probably market the book better if they said higher numbers. So the main thing I want to get at is this Amazon listing doesn't really tell us anything about anything. Based on just this one listing, I don't think we learn anything new at all about Overwatch 2 and its release date. However, the thing I mentioned earlier about Jeff Kaplan saying Overwatch 2 is still a ways off does make me think that, coincidentally, this book is correct in saying that the game won't release until October 15th. At this point, I really don't think we're going to see it any sooner than holiday 2021, just based on the way Blizzard has still been very silent about it, and we haven't really heard anything about development or release date yet. I'm not holding my breath really for it being any earlier than that at this point in time. But hey, we could get lucky and have it release earlier, and I certainly wouldn't complain about that, just of course, assuming that the game is actually finished when they release it. I would rather have a late game than an unfinished game. But I think I've rambled on long enough for this video. Definitely let me know your thoughts about these two leaks, which are, again, not actually leaks, but just let me know your thoughts regarding what we've now learned pertaining to the upcoming release date of Overwatch 2. Do you think we're going to get a release date announced at the upcoming BlizzCon, and when do you think that date's going to be? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon if you enjoyed this video, and come join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.